Hello, welcome to our Friday. Oh, we've changed the name. I'm going to get it right. Demo day and reflection for Cardano for Climate. We've changed our Fridays to match our sprint schedule. This is the last day of our sprint number 4, I think. Sprint 3, last day of our sprint number 3. And we'll be doing a bunch of stuff today. We're going to review the sprint planning board. We're going to do some demos on what's been done, and then we're going to do a reflection to close out the sprint. And then we will start again next week with our final sprint for 2022.
Yes.
So let me share my screen. Share screen. Okay, I think that's the right one. So this is the agenda for today. We're going to start by reviewing the sprint planning board. This week, we had 3 primary goals: C4C Treasury, Payout Fund 7 and Fund 8, Post-Summit Promotion of Impact, and C4C in 2023. And we collected a bunch of little tasks, and people have signed up to do different things. So
and added more stickies and more lines.
I saw that. Nice visual organization. I love that. And these 2 weeks, we've been pretty good at having facilitator, admins, and scribes for all the meetings. And we're here at the last day of our sprint. I'll be facilitating today. Cole and Melanie will be doing the,
Purple, look for purple.
Doing the scribing, and then Melanie's doing the admin.
And I'm not scribing at this moment, so I will go through the recording afterwards and add any other notes that we need to.
Okay. So the first part of this is really demos, which we can kick off. And demos are a chance to show what you've done this week and just kind of talk about what you've accomplished and show people. We want to keep it fairly short, so no more than 5 minutes to go over what you've been working on. And ideally, you'll be referring to one of these stickies here, because these are the things that we committed to this week to work on. And yeah, any questions?
I just want to get my stuff out because I've got some stuff to show. It'll take me a second.
Okay. Welcome, Cole. Welcome, Raz. Since we're here now at demo, I can kind of kick it off. Hey, Yoram.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
So, welcome. So for the C4C Treasury Payout Fund 7 and 8, I was working on this task here, finish worksheet for Fund 8 for the hub. And it was going rather slowly. I found the format of this spreadsheet to be hard to actually record stuff without a whole bunch of kind of back and forth and confusion. So I started.
Maybe you should see mine first, Nori.
Okay. So I started this worksheet and I just started going through each and every meeting agenda note that we had. So this is a date 6th, 13th, 20th, and I link the actual agenda doc so you can.
Yours is much cleaner than mine.
And then I just started taking what we recorded. So attendance is almost always was taken. The scribe and admin was spotty, but a lot of meetings had at least one of those positions noted. None of the meetings had a facilitator noted, so I have no idea who facilitated any of these meetings. So I put notes here just to kind of help us go through it. And so I think the next steps for this will be to review the actual YouTube recording and see if we can get more stuff out. I know that Newman takes pretty detailed notes to the side, so maybe he can also participate and add some stuff there. He said he had a bunch, so I'm hoping through this worksheet it just makes it easier, and then now we can go August 15 to 26 what happened, and it's easy to just see and record all that.
Oh yeah, well, see, now this will segue, if that's okay, into mine.
Yep, I'm done. That's pretty much all I accomplished this week. So
okay, well, you will you'll go, okay, now this is what happens when it's not very well organized. Let's see, drive, my drive. No, we want to do just a second here. I think this is it. So I have been going through those. I've been going through the recordings this week. I've been going through the saved chats, and I've been going through, yeah, whatever I can to find out who's where. And it's a bit of a mess. So I've taken what you did, Nori, what Andre had started with, you know, because he was trying to break down the, you know, the planning into just percents. And it's like, you know, this doesn't really show what's really happening. Let me just see if I can find this right chat. I know that I've got something here with all the attendance, everybody that showed up. If I saw them in the chat, if I saw them in the video, because even when you watch the video, you don't know who all's there because not every person shows up. So it really, what it's done for me is really realize that we don't have enough information collected like we could have. And it takes a lot of work to do it after the fact. I've got a link here for other documents, for agendas, for YouTube recordings. These were the core meetings. Some notes I'm starting to take with, you know, how many minutes it was. I also went back before Fund 7 just to start collecting things and get into this routine of stuff. So it has been a real grind for me. I've gone into saved chats. This is where I show up, where the attendance is. And I didn't go into as much as who's facilitator, who's scribe, who's that kind of a job. I figured, you know, we're all showing up. We have these human hours, we have these heartbeats. And then what I've done is I've gone and I've done a formula at the bottom to show who showed up, you know, from March 7th, December 8th to March 7th. So it's not very accurate, but we can take different chunks of it. And I've just basically gone through and added all these people. We've got people, you know, that show up once or twice. We've got people that show up 2 times. And I think it shows also, you know, how our community starts forming. You know, Ryan, in this period of time, 13 times, Tyler, 17 times that he showed up, and people come and go to gain. I think it gives a really neat snapshot of what happens. So I'm going a little bit more detailed than necessary, but that's kind of what I do. And working on the monthly events as well. And then what I see and what I've always seen is this, you know, the Fibonacci grid, and it's made up of all these little squares and portions of the whole. And what I see is that we can maybe figure out what portions of the whole job we are all each doing. And then when we have a lump sum or something to pay out, we can do it as a percentage, not necessarily. I'm getting into the fine details now of who was where, when, and for how long, but it should end up being very simple in the outcome as a percentage. So making this easier, I love what you've done, Nori, for the setup that you have. And yeah, so these are going to be linked to the saved chat, where that particular one is for attendance. Yeah, so this is what happens when you join tech and you try and make it work, right? With a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah. One thing I found through doing the exercise is we evolved our note taking. the summer, and then Newman took over and really started doing these amazing things. And it's really important to at least jot down those things, like who attended, who did the different roles, because otherwise you got to go to the videos to watch, and that doesn't have everything. You're going to chats, and it's a lot.
No problem. We've only been doing this for 3 months. No problem. I'll remember that, right?
Exactly.
You know, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, so, and that's why even on the agenda, I've added a new thing that says a recording to this event or to this meeting. Who's recording? You know, we put those things in, and you started with that template for the agenda. Fabulous. Abe comes along and says, okay, do stuff in text that's red so people see it, turn it green when it gets done. Fabulous. Now, you know, add the recording, add the previous agenda notes, just in case somehow they got missed, you know, and our records are evolving quite wonderfully. And Newman for sure coming along and just bumping that bar up higher has been very, very helpful. So yeah. I don't know that we use the notes and everything, you know, as much as we could or should, but at least having them accessible so that we can find them should we need them. Yeah. And then the next step would be to use them. Sorry, I've taken up way too much time on this one.
No worries. I think they are really useful for when we need to go back and see what happened. And just going through there, it was like we're preparing for like a retro and then a forward looking. And it's like reviewing those things is super helpful to see what happened and remind us of what's
beautiful. And for promotions too, to know the recordings, to know, I'm starting, you know, like I actually added up the minutes of the meetings that are in our YouTube. And it's like, imagine those heartbeats, those minutes of human contribution. When we start putting those numbers in there, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, there's something here. I do have the next one. It's a post-summit promotion of impact. Okay. Juanita and myself, we worked on the slides. We were actually working on these, Yoram, the morning of the summit, because what I saw at the summit was everybody had their speaker slide, you know, and then they presented. And I thought, we should get that in. And so we tried before the summit, but that was, you know, impossible. So Juanita and I finished that, and or we're at least working on it. And I will share my screen again. Sorry, Nori, I'm taking over again.
You have 5 minutes to present.
Okay, so here we go. So this is what we've done. I've cleaned up the deck itself. I think I'll leave the agenda in. And then we went and created these slides for each one for presenting. Juanita's absolutely amazing to work with, I gotta say. And then having worked with her, I realized, you know, how much we did in the background. So you can see there's James. And it's something that Grace brought up too, was when we do these events, having this to promote. Like this one was important because this was a big event, and it felt like it should be one picture with all the people that are showing up at this. But we also need to have these to do to promote these events individually. So if we could produce those ahead of time, our speakers show up and say, hey, you know, Forrest, imagine if he showed up with his following at his event that we showed. Sorry, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself and excited.
I think it's amazing. It really looks amazing. And I think I'm sorry we didn't have that at the conference, but it's amazing still. And I think we need to promote that in the videos we are doing now. I mean, each video, right, is going to be per project.
Exactly.
So we definitely need that.
I'll give this to Peter now, so that he's got this. So it's all stuff. It's permaculture. We can use it more than once. So I'll update this in the summit Linktree. We can use this for promotion. We can do little videos. We can do little individual slide decks where each one of these people can take this and use it more. And then at the very end, I was thinking, we need to do this behind the scenes. I know Yoram. It would just be easy if I called you guys Yori. Okay.
Yori, call me Yori.
I'm referring to both of you.
Yeah,
So
we're now one of the token dwarves.
the token dwarfs, yeah. I'm just going to go into this real quick. Sorry.
Oh, this looks great. Really,
I have
love it.
one more slide that you guys have seen. Just a second. This is what happens when I get doing something and I'm online.
Doing that up, just for the people that joined late, we are doing a sprint demo right now. So if there's anything you worked on during the sprint that you want to share, you can queue that up and you can go right after. And then we'll move into a sprint reflection.
So yeah, I'll just share this.
Just for this last sprint.
Yeah, today's the last day of the sprint, and it's the sprint goals that we had.
I have an impact onboarding video I could share quickly, or some parts of it.
Awesome.
That would be awesome right after that.
So this is one thing that we've added was Peter's slide. And then from there, we can have the videos in this slide deck. We can add them in, link to the video, each one of them, and then behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I think this was really important. And both Juanita and Kate, said, thank you very much for doing this. I feel like I'm missing other people. I know that the bulk of it was done by kind of myself, I think. And
it's good to see if someone jump up. I mean, we will always maybe miss anyone. I like the last one you put your hand.
I know I wanted that one in because I don't like being on camera, a dirty hand. I like to get my hands dirty, but then I realized that just draws way more attention to myself than I want. So just a happy face is good enough.
I just saw the slide of sustainable aid. I saw them in different color or it was also good.
So actually Cole and Raz had a slide for themselves in the deck, which was great. And if it's okay with you, Cole and Raz, since you're here, I'm going to change it to the green one, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Keep you all the same. Good.
Awesome. Thanks, Melanie. Can you drop a link to those into chat just so that we have them for the meeting recording? And then
perfect.
Awesome.
And
Cole,
now
with your video.
Yeah, here.
Just keeping us on track because we're running out of time.
So that being said, sharing these links, they're editable. Are those kind of ones we're going to put in YouTube or not?
Yeah, we shouldn't have them editable when we share them out to the public. We should.
Right, and
welcome to
and they're not quite ready for public viewing, right?
Yeah, so
I'll drop them in the chat, but they're not for public yet. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. They'll go into the meeting notes.
Okay.
So yeah, I know I've only have 5 minutes, so I'll jump around really quick. But this is our first version of the impact onboarding for Cardano for Climate. We're going to be doing these in Spanish as well, and we got some really good feedback from Yoram. I think we're going to split it up into like 5 different videos for the different sections. But here's just a little intro to this.
No, this was my
Hello,
feeling.
and welcome to Cardano for Climate's impact onboard.
Sorry.
No, you can.
I thought it would be cool to have because it's 7 minutes. So it's a little long, but it's cool to have intro for blockchain, intro for Cardano, right? Intro for Project Catalyst, having short intros of 1 minute, 1.5 minutes instead of one video.
I think that's a great idea, and Daniel agrees as well. And I think we're going to head toward do that as well. He's been a little busy the last couple of days with some family stuff, so I'm just kind of waiting for him. But supported by Matera and Sustainable ADA. Here, we bring you through what is blockchain, what is Cardano, and how to get involved in the impact ecosystem of the Cardano blockchain. So what is a blockchain? A blockchain is a collection of technology that usually involves a decentralized data store that's immutable, time-stamped, and auditable. Where a cryptocurrency or a token is where you try to create an incentive system to manage that structure in a decentralized way. You have a token and you pay people to maintain that structure.
What is a blockchain? Is it a computer program?
Not exactly.
Is it money?
Sometimes.
Can it make me a sandwich?
Not yet. A blockchain is a shared ledger.
But what is a ledger?
You can think of a ledger as a long list of things that have happened. In the case of blockchain, that list would be shared across the computers of many people. Let's talk about how we make this work. A blockchain uses a network of computers called a peer-to-peer network, and when you want to add something to that list, you talk to this network. It will then use a consensus protocol to decide where, when, and if it should add your transaction to the list. Once things are in the list, they can't be changed. That's called immutability. It's basically just a way for us to store data that's safe, secure, and has some very interesting uses.
So what does decentralized and distributed networks mean in the Web3 and blockchain space? So let's start with centralized. A centralized network has a central authority governing all nodes. An example of this would be like social media platforms today in the Web2 space, like Twitter, Facebook, and Apple, who have full control over all the data on those platforms. Decentralized. Decentralized has no central authority, and decision-making is shared and created by the community. An example.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi might be. Sorry.
Google's down.
It's giving up after OpenGPT.
Raz said it. Centralized authority is hacking it. That's good. Yeah, we've been shut down. It's a fear, though, right? You know, do all this good work and all of a sudden get all our stuff cut off. But
well, yeah, it's not working too well for me, but I can share.
Hello and welcome to Cardano for Climate's Impact Onboarding, centralized data store. That's
can you do the sandwich one part? Sandwich part again?
Where a cryptocurrency or a token is where you try to create an incentive system.
Blockchain. Is it a computer program?
Not exactly.
Is it money?
Sometimes.
Can it make me a sandwich?
Not yet.
This looks really good, Cole.
It is amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it, and we go into like Cardano for Climate, Matera, and the different groups within the ecosystem, how to like get onboarded within Catalyst, and then how to follow up, and then we have like a welcome packet for anyone who's going to be joining these sessions. So yeah, sorry the whole video wasn't playing, but I'll share that, and if you guys want to take a look at it,
yeah, definitely share the link and we can take a look after this.
Would love some feedback. As much make it as good as we can. So yeah, that'd be amazing.
Thanks, Cole. All right, let's wrap up our demo section. Does anybody else have anything they want to demo?
Cole, where are you getting your stuff from? Like, are you producing that, like the sandwich one?
So that's from the Blockchain Learning Center, that little part, but the rest of the video is all footage that I've gotten that I've rights to use, and then the rest of it was a slideshow that me and Daniel made, and he's going to pretty much just do the same thing in Spanish, and then together we're going to put like all the clips and
then giving blockchain learning the credit and stuff to us. Fabulous.
Definitely.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, any other demos that people want to do before we move to the reflection? What did people work on this week? Anything?
I'm sure there was some other stuff in there that I might have done, but
yeah, we don't have to go over all of it, but we're really covering our 3 goals were the Treasury payout, summit promotion, and C4C in 2023. If there's anything demoable, this is a chance to just show it off.
We haven't shown, well, the video that Peter did, intro to C4C, that's a big part of this summit promotion.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, and he's going to share it. I would just say that I'm also following up on that and sharing slides and so on from the sessions with the CF and Imargo. So directly. So including, by the way, Nori, the localized sessions as well. Like I give them a summary of what happened in the summit, right? So what happened in our session, what happened in different sessions we helped to organize, and then what happened internationally. So I have there your slides.
Awesome.
So both
spreadsheet of all the events that happened and the different impact things.
So there's the spreadsheet, there's the Linktree, and the Linktree, if we can keep that up to date, if anything's missing or you guys get new stuff, that'd be great. I am also trying, I have that form out there for uploading photos and recordings. You know, it's just something, a place that we can collect that. That goes to a spreadsheet as well, that form. So Yoram, I hope you're referring to that Linktree because that was a lot of work.
Yeah, so this Linktree, actually, Dr. Mihaela, I shared it with her a couple of times. Yeah, even for the meeting she shared with in Dubai. But yeah, I definitely need to share it also with the.
And in that Linktree, we have all the different proposals, algae token, sun, Ada Solar, every project that we know of goes in there, and we can keep updating those.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's important one. Can you have the link at hand now, or let me just go change computers here?
I can give it to you. Yep.
If you drop those in chat, we can put them into the meeting notes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, we have 19 minutes left. We should jump into the sprint reflection. So I just put the link to the Miro board in. There's a reflection space here for sprint number 3. And we're going to be reflecting over the last 2 weeks, which are basically reflected here. And the sprint goals of Treasury payout, post-summit promotion, and C4C in 2023. Really thinking about what went well, shout out to the team, what didn't go so well, and then we can have some action items if we want to pull some out. So if everybody wants to take, we'll start with 10 minutes, and then we'll take 10 minutes to discuss, and then we can end. Let me kick off a timer.
And I can actually pause the recording during this, right?
Yep, you can pause and then we'll come back. Let's kick it off.
I did that on the Wednesday. I looked at the Wednesday one and here we are like silent for hours.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pause the recording and try this up. Please remind me to turn.
Years past, it's all there. And it's pretty crazy. I asked it to write an essay because I have the 4 kids in school. Write an essay about the Revolutionary War from the perspective of a 4th grader of 1 page. And it spit it out in 10 seconds.
That's pretty scary.
It was a great essay. I'm not even kidding you. I mean, it was written like a 4th grader would. And yeah, I actually had a conversation with one of the boys' mothers, and I said, we really need to think about schooling because this is kind of, I think it's going to change things. And we've already kind of stepped back, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we're going to have to rethink things like just, yeah, it's going to be crazy because it does like almost presentable, submittable work just by asking questions. You can say, create a blog post of X, and it will just totally.
So the scary bit about is it create a blog post that doesn't trigger other AI to say this has been copied and pasted. That's the scary bit. Because, you know, if we copy and paste, we get caught because we're humans. AI is going to outsmart itself.
Yeah. It is. All right, let's get into the reflection. We have 7 minutes left, so we're going to go through this really quick. There's a bunch of sweet fruits here. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to let this be a reading exercise for you on YouTube and the people here in the room, unless there's any one of these that anybody thinks we should take an action item from, because that's the real key goal of this, is to come up with action items to change how we do things or make things better for next time.
I like this. We rebooted our sprint process. I think this is really good. It's an amazing process, and I think I wrote that as well. Because we're sharing with each other what we're doing, we make these connections. And now I feel heard, you know, when I'm doing something on the agenda, please put the recording link in there. And this is why it's important. So really amazing. I thank you so much, Nori, for pursuing this and keeping it going.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I think the summit kind of derailed us, but it was nice the last 2 weeks that we got back on track and have stuff going. All right, so the shout out stuff. This is there's a whole bunch, so I love this. And I'm going to leave this here for people to pause the video and read them if they want. And then, yeah, all of us can take this away and take the inspiration. Just as a takeaway, maybe we have this wall of appreciation that we have as well. I think we should reinstate that into our Wednesday meetups just to make sure we are always doing that.
So what I did with the last reflection was I took these notes and put them on a spreadsheet, you know, as a snapshot of the day. So they're going to be all recorded that way as well. And I think this, if I do that, then we can do that, add it to the wall of appreciation really easy.
Mm-hmm. We can copy them over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Because, you know, these I don't know about you guys, if I put sticky notes on a board, I walk past it and they fly off, you know, and they get lost, right? So if we could have a way of recording this really amazing information in one place, and I keep deferring to spreadsheets.
Mm-hmm. And it's easy to download all these notes as just lines of text. So you can
yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. It's
a copy and paste.
Awesome. All right, last 4 minutes. What didn't go so well? So I'm going to combine these two because they're probably related. This was related to doing the Fund 7 and Fund 8 kind of accounting stuff, right? Yeah. I found going back in time, it started very sparse. The notes were sometimes kept, sometimes not. Sometimes we recorded who was recording or scribing, but oftentimes not. And it got better as I scanned through the notes. And then there was a phase shift when Newman kind of started taking really detailed notes. And I wanted to call him out for that. But then, but I'm finding just that reflective, like it's really important to take notes. So I think the scribe role is super important to know who showed up, who did what that week and stuff. And maybe also the sprint process will start to help us as well now that we have a little more process around that. But I think it's super important just so that people can be seen, like you said, Melanie, of what they did and all that, and not just let it evaporate over time, because we can't.
And admin for organizing that information in a logical place that we can find it. I can always use help on that. It's been kind of cool because it's been a learning process of a decentralized organization, really from the ground up, not knowing what to do and figuring it out as we go. So pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and then a little shout out. Thanks for deep into our history. Any other ones that people want to talk about? I could touch on this. Just reflecting on the sprint and what we accomplished and what we set out to go do. I don't think we finished it all. So one thing is we tend to take on more than we can finish in 2 weeks. We're really optimistic and we're really wanting to do a lot. And that's a sign that there's so much to do. Which is great, but yeah, that's something just to reflect on. But also, I find it hard to sync up on who's doing what during the week. And one thing that Little Fish has started is they just created a little channel where twice a week, this bot comes in and says, "Hey, reminder to give the community an update on what you've been working on in the sprint." And then people just kind of do a quick asynchronous stand-up where they go, what did I do this week? What am I going to do next? And am I blocked on anything? And then if somebody says they're blocked on anything, people just jump in and really help to unblock them and make sure that they're able to proceed forward. But I don't know, that's an idea that we could try here if we want, just to maybe increase that level of knowing what people are up to without having to meet face to face and say so all the time.
And then just having a place that we can check in. You know, those recordings are all in one place. We can find them easy. They're not scattered through Telegram. Yeah, awesome.
Okay, I'm going to just do an action item. Think about starting async and
midweek, right? Because that also helps procrastinators who put everything off till Thursday and, you know, do a power 10-hour stint, you know, to know, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this. So,
all right, we're at time. Anything else people want to cover here? What was organizing it logically mean? Was that the information?
Well, see, with all that information, it's like taking a puzzle, and it's like, I couldn't sort it out. You know, it's like, how do I actually find all the red pieces and put them over here? How do I start working on putting the red pieces together logically? I can get really distracted by the bigger picture. So that's definitely my challenge. I love process, you know, like, okay, I'm going to do meetups there once every week. I'm going to find the YouTube, the recording, the slide deck, you know, and put those all in. But then I get down another rabbit trail. And that was what's, you know, my big challenge is, because it's like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one over there, you know, and then I start on that. I love doing this, but I know that I take a lot more time at it than probably other people that are more organized than myself or have different processes that they work through. So that's definitely my challenge.
Got it. And then kept losing track of where I was in the process.
That's it. Yeah.
Was that where you were working, or was it more the sprint stuff?
No, it's more with what I was working because of the bulk of it.
Okay.
You know, it's like, oh, I have to do all YouTube. I have to do all my saved chats. And then the other thing is the ones that I have recorded are ones I have saved chat from, or they're in YouTube. Other people may have other meetings that they've attended. This is one thing. I started to create a Zoom call for myself with other people in our C4C account, if it's C4C business. And then there's a recording, at least, of the meeting. Maybe not, it wasn't recorded, but at least we have those.
Okay, so I took an action just for us to reflect and think about how to create a better process so we don't ever have to do this again. And like, it should just be there. And every week, maybe that's kind of one of the sprint wrap-ups, is to create these so that we don't have to go back in time and have one person heroically try to find it all.
Or also find a place. Okay, I'm having, Yoram has all these meetings, you know, we don't keep track of those. Yoram, myself, and Miguel were talking yesterday for a bit. We don't keep track of those. They weren't recorded. So, you know, that's stuff that is hub operation, that where do we put those? How do we record that?
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't all be recorded.
No, and some of it would be like impact lead generator, which is a completely different thing if they're new. But yeah, we should probably think about how we track that over time. And maybe we could use some of the learnings from impact lead generator to help us with that.
Yeah. And we need to jump in there now.
Yeah, speaking of which, it's starting now. But
okay.
Thanks everybody for the reflection. And I guess we can
amazing process.
Homework is keep going on what we've got going.
Yeah, over the weekend, if people have time, just think about what we want to do next sprint, because we're gonna, Monday will be sprint planning, and we're gonna kick off, come up with some goals, come up with some tasks, and then start it all up again. So that's what will happen on Monday.
And we can copy some of the stuff from last week that didn't get done, right?
Yeah, if it didn't get done, we can use that to inform, but we should select the goals first and see if the things that didn't get done fit. And if not, they can probably be parking lotted for a bit if they're not critical.
Okay, and the lead generator, do I need to be at that?
It's a community support meeting, so if you need support or want to give support, then that would be an appropriate place. Otherwise, yeah, it's optional.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Have a good rest of your guys' Friday. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye, guys.
Bye.